Hello, this is UZREPORT.NEWS. I'm Barno Nazarzoda. January 30 marks the birthday of first President of Uzbekistan, Islam Karimov. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev laid flowers at the foot of the monument to Islam Karimov. The flower-laying ceremony saw representatives of the government. Flowers were also laid at the monuments of the first president in Samarkand and Kashi. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, in his recent address to the Oli Majlis, raised a number of problems. The regular session of the International Press Club held yesterday touched upon the youth policy, supporting women, improving education and increasing the prestige of doctors in society. The details in our next report.
According to the chairperson of the Central Council of the Youth Union, Alisher Saidullayev, some 15–20,000 young people will be employed by the end of this year. Considering the fact that 60% of the population of Uzbekistan are youngsters, a single organization cannot handle all this work. We want to involve into this process other organizations as well, and to clearly show them how to organize this work. This is our goal for this year. Alisher Saidullayev also noted that the development of the National Index and the concept of Youth 2025 are one of the important issues raised by the head of our country. If we make internet available in districts and regions, make megabytes and tariffs cheaper and create a trend for young people, they will be able to get the necessary information instantly. Most importantly, it will be possible to create online platforms for raising differences in the formation of culture, promoting new knowledge and higher education. The session also discussed the higher education. In particular, the Minister of Higher Education spoke about the coverage of youth with higher education in 2020, the revision of standards, as well as changes in the quality and methodology of education. In addition, he noted that teachers who work in higher education institutions will be subject to higher requirements for their professionalism. The system of differentiated education will be developed in higher education institutions. This means that all conditions will be created for those who need additional knowledge, and students with outstanding abilities will be able to undergo education in a more in-depth program. Inomjon Majidov also spoke about the reduction in the number of lessons taught in universities. The correct approach is drawing up the curriculum, program and standard is used in international practice. A specialist should have competence. He should be able to accomplish what the employer expects from him. The ministry does not deal with this. It is a task of universities that have the same direction. They have to be integrated into a common method to form requirements on the basis of certain items. This means that two parties are involved in the preparation of the curriculum. There is also a third party, the ministry. It pursues a unified educational policy, puts forward its own requirements for expanding horizons, improving cultural literacy and etc. And most importantly, no one except these three parties should interfere. And the first Deputy Minister of Health throughout the session spoke about the prevention of various diseases, including cancer by screening. He also announced that this year the number of drugs for hematological diseases will be increased 7 times. The process of globalization has a significant impact on family relationships, in particular on economic and social status of the main cell of society. A special oil research center is engaged in identifying problems in families and suggests ways to solve them. According to the director of the center, the main task on the agenda is to increase the level of education of women.
According to the indicators of 2017, the number of girls who graduated from the higher educational institutions comprised 37.7%, although in neighboring countries this figure is 51% or even higher. Granting quotas and opportunities to girls, which the president of the country spoke about in his message, gives hope that family educators, future mothers, will become more educated and enlightened.
There have also been significant changes in the public education system. In 2019, 4 presidential and 3 creative schools were opened. In 2020, 1.7 trillion soms or $176 million will be allocated for the development of the sphere. So what are the goals of the Ministry of Public Education this year? It turns out that in 11 years we have built only 100 schools, which is not even 9 per year. They are mainly designed for 640 students. This year, 4 new schools will be put into operation in Tashkent alone, each of which will be designed for 1,680 students. These will be really big schools. During the discussion, the deputies expressed their opinions and suggestions on all the above-mentioned issues. The work of medical clinics in the diagnosis of cancer was critically analyzed. In foreign countries, cancer is diagnosed at an early stage using conventional blood tests. Our medical facilities are limited only to X-rays. Diagnostics of this kind is carried out only in 2 centers of Tashkent. The cost of the service is quite high.
Faqat gematologiya shifoxonalari yoki
To prevent such diseases, it is necessary to introduce regular units of district hematologist and oncologist. This way, you can detect the disease at the initial stage. Unfortunately, the sphere needs to be modernized.
Another issues raised were about teachers and educators engaged in the education system, who are systematically requested to prepare manuals for inspections of various commissions, which is a bureaucracy. All this routine work interferes with the preparation for classes and full-fledged lessons. In addition, it is necessary to reduce the number of secondary subjects.
Based on the experience of developed countries, you can see that in South Korea, students pass exams only in 2 special subjects and get 45 points to close the seminar. In Germany, America or England, the same. The student take exams in other subjects voluntarily. 43 people, including 2 district mayors and 5 of their deputies, as well as the managers of bank branches, school principals and chief doctors of medical institutions, were fined for forced labor during the 2019 cotton harvest. These names have been listed in the report of the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations of Uzbekistan. All persons have been brought to justice under Article 51 of the Code of Administrative Responsibility. The penalty under this article provides for a fine of 10 to 30 basic calculations values, which is between $230 and $700. Acting Director of Agency for Information and Mass Communications under the Presidential Administration and his deputy Saida Mirziyoyeva had suddenly announced their resignation yesterday, as they now plan to continue their work in non-governmental sector. Their appeal was later reviewed and improved. During Alamjonov's leadership, the agency has become something like a shield for bloggers and the media against those who traditionally try to interfere the media freedom in Uzbekistan. Over the past couple of years, the freedom of Uzbek media has been highly appreciated by foreign organizations, experts and others engaged in this sphere. Dilshad Saidjonov was appointed acting director of the agency. New rules for visa regime, customs clearance, registrations of real estate and handling citizens' requests are going to take effect in Uzbekistan in the last month of winter. But the most anticipated event for many of our fellow citizens is that the amount of wages of employees of budgetary institutions, pensions, scholarships, allowances, as well as the financial assistance to low-income families will be increased.
According to President's instructions, the minimum wage will comprise $71 per month, the basic amount of pension $25, the minimum age pension $49, the minimum amount of benefit for elderly and disabled citizens who do not have the necessary work experience set to comprise $30.
Oyliklar, pensiyalar, stipendiyalar osharmish. Bu haqda nima deb o'ylaysiz? Yaxshimi bu?
Yaxshi.
Ko'proq oshdimi? Narxlarga ta'sir qilmaydimi oylik oshsa? Nima deb o'ylaysiz?
Ta'sir qiladi.
Yaxshimi bu?
Yo'q, yaxshi emas.
Shu yilgacha bo'lib kelyapti bu narsa. Bu oylik oshgandan keyin hamma o'rgan bo'ldi o'zi, qolgan narsalar ham oshib ketadi. Hamma narsa, misol non, benzin, hamma narsa o'zi tabiiy oshishga xalq menimcha ko'nikib bo'ldi bu narsaga.
Buni o'zgartirish kerak deb o'ylamaysizmi?
O'zgartirish kerak, chunki bu narsa faqat ko'zbo'yamachilikdan boshqa narsa emas-da. Bu oylikni oshirishadi. Qolgan joydan qolgan narsalar ham oshib ketadi.
These are the opinions of some of our compatriots, and whether prices will increase and how much, we will find out very soon. Last time, the minimum wage was raised in September last year, which was an average of 10%.
Coronavirus. This word alone continues to excite the entire world community. The problem has long gone beyond the borders of its origin, where the number of victims has already exceeded 100. The situation worries many of our citizens because some 30 Uzbekistanis are studying in Wuhan. Different information has been spreading on social networks. Some are true, some are exaggerated. Yesterday, we had directly contacted with our citizen who is still in Wuhan, and today we have received a comment from officials. The representative of the Embassy of Uzbekistan in China, Akmalxon Olimxonov, shared the situation in China at the moment. He said that the vaccine against the virus will be announced very soon.
In connection with the widespread of a new type of coronavirus in China since January 15, our embassy has established a headquarters from among all its employees. A link has been established with Uzbek students studying not only in Wuhan, but also in other provinces of China. Several groups have been created on the WeChat messenger, which is very popular here. In these groups, students have the opportunity to express their opinions, share information and discuss them. Instructions are also provided. Also, we have indicated the personal mobile phone numbers of representatives of our staff. Students apply and get answers to their questions. As you know, in Wuhan, a quarantine has been declared. Entry and exit from the city is prohibited, and bus stations, airports and air terminals are closed. Why has the Chinese government banned travel from Wuhan? In connection with the announcement of the quarantine, the relevant government authorities refused to allow diplomatic missions and consulates of other countries to export their citizens from China, because quarantine is a set of measures aimed at limiting the widespread of infection diseases. The representative of the Embassy of Uzbekistan said that it is not so much the virus that is terrible as the panic created because of it. He also spoke about the measures being taken to ensure the safety of foreign citizens. Students and citizens of other major foreign countries are also in China, but they do not panic because they are well aware that if they return to their home, there is a possibility of infection with one or another virus. Therefore, they prefer to carry out quarantine in China, since there are qualified doctors here. During the conversation with the students, we found out that they have their temperatures measured daily and they always wear masks. Many students in Wuhan are calm. They buy necessary products for themselves in supermarkets. Currently, the city of Wuhan is recognized as the safest city in China because more than 1,000 qualified doctors from 7 provinces arrived at the site. A supply of high-quality medical drugs was received. New technologies and treatment programs were involved. Extensive disinfection is being carried out in the city. In addition, the Premier of the State Council of China arrived in Wuhan on January 27th with an inspection and said that there was not much time left before the invention of a vaccine against coronavirus.
One of the rarest animals of our planet, snow leopard, was discovered in the Shahrazabsk district of Uzbekistan. Employees of the animal sanctuary even managed to take a photo of this animal. Red-listed snow leopards to date can be found only in 16 countries of the world, with their population reaching maximum 3,000 or 4,000. According to available data, throughout the whole year of 2019, the total income of the population amounted to $36.1 billion, with the growth rate reaching 121.9%. And this was announced by the State Statistics Committee of Uzbekistan. The average per capita nominal total income of the population above the national average was recorded in the capital, the lowest in the Republic of Karakalpakstan. Uzbekistan's real disposable income increased by 6.5% last year. The total per capita income comprised $1.1 million, with a real growth rate comprising 4.5%.
The confirmed pneumonia cases caused by the novel coronavirus totaled 7,711 in the Chinese mainland by the end of Wednesday, according to the National Health Commission on Thursday. Mui Fang briefed the press on the latest data on the disease. A total of 1,370 patients are in critical conditions. 170 people have died of the disease. 124 people have been discharged from a hospital after recovery. Currently, there are 12,177 suspected cases. We have received reports of 25 confirmed cases in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. A central China city of Wuhan in Hubei province is the region most affected by the outbreak of the novel coronavirus. Many places required the drivers who transport goods to the province, especially to Wuhan city, to take a 14-day medical observation in order to curb the spread of the coronavirus. European Union leaders and legislators started bidding farewell to the United Kingdom Wednesday, mixing warm words of love with hard-headed warnings to the country not to seek too many advantages during upcoming trade talks on a future relationship. The European Parliament overwhelmingly approved the departure of the UK, the final major decision in the 4-year Brexit saga. Yet at the same time, EU nations are already preparing for the possibility that talks on a new trade deal with Britain could collapse by the end of the year. A no deal planning for a chaotic end to the transition period is necessary. After Britain's departure on Friday, the UK will remain within US economic arrangements until the end of the year, though it won't have a say in policy, as it will not be a member of the EU anymore. The Israeli Prime Minister came to Moscow on Thursday to discuss the U.S. Mid-East peace plan and take an Israeli woman who had been jailed in Russia back home. Benjamin Netanyahu made a stopover in Moscow after visiting Washington, where President Donald Trump on Tuesday unveiled his long-awaited Mid-East peace plan. Netanyahu told Russian President Vladimir Putin as they sat down for talks in the Kremlin that he wants to discuss the plan and hear his opinion about it. The Israeli leader's visit comes a day after Putin pardoned 26-year-old Naama Issachar, who was arrested in April at Moscow airport, where she was transferring en route from India to Israel.
And this was our last report. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Uzbekistan.